I got a busy day. I'm gonna try to fit this video in before I get too far ahead of myself. And I missed the opportunity to show these steps. Working on the armrest for the Impala. I should have kept a pattern. I'm bad about this sometimes. I finally made a really good pattern. I've covered these like this half a dozen times probably. Every time trying to make a pattern better and better. So I got this where it fits the edges with nice seams. Just have to glue it on will be the next step. Pull it tight, pull it around. I'm gonna staple it just for extra hold. The glue doesn't stick right to this rubber, as I mentioned in the previous video. So I'm gonna clean this real good, sand it, scuff it up with some sandpaper. That way it has some deep scratches in it. And this will stick good. Then when it's pulled tight and stapled, it shouldn't go nowhere then too. It shouldn't go anywhere after it's stapled and pulled tight. Sorry, I just had my coffee. I haven't spoke to anybody. Like I said, I wanted to get this video out of the way. Console for the 1970 Chrysler Newport. Still waiting on some more of this original gold material. It's the original stuff off the assembly line from 1972. Well, even though it's supposed to be for 1970, obviously they ran that same color for a few years. So that comes from a company called SMS. If anybody ever needs to find original material, chances are they'll be the only place you may be able to find it. You have to pay arm and a leg per yard, but yep, they have a lot of materials to choose from for original vehicles. This console, I said I would show it an exploded view with all the pieces apart. It does have about 13 pieces after I counted them all. I started to attach all of these. Those are cutouts. Actually, it's a cutout reducer where I kind of messed up. I was going to put the tweeter there before. So now it's an insert plate. And this whole section will be covered in black vinyl. Right here. So anything you see through the speaker grill will be black. And the edges back here will be black. And behind the LED light deep in there, in case you can see any of it. I don't think you will, but it'll be black also. So this part will need to be gold. Set you down a second. There you go. Take this section off and wrap it separate. Have a little sanding to do, a little fine tuning. Get the edge just nice and crisp. Alright, I might show it one more time before it's finished. Pull it all apart and get a couple more pieces wrapped. To a viewer left a comment about the ashtray in the last video. I looked all through my shed. I don't have an extra ashtray. I do have an extra bracket and the pieces I cut from this one. I'll do my best to give you some tips on, in the first place, how to get this ashtray out of the car without breaking anything. So that'll be clips on the side. Right there. One on each side. I have to get a tool under it and pry that plastic clip out. I can show you better down here. Maybe. It just hits a notch on the ashtray itself. So you have to pry this side out and pull it past the first notch. Just barely past it. Then you go to the other side. Pry it out. Pull the ashtray past the first notch. There's two little notches on the ashtray. And once you get past the first one, it's going to hit the second. Do the same thing again on both sides. And then the ashtray will pull all the way out of the sliders without breaking anything. And this piece, took me years before I ever noticed this. It was pretty simple. This is the tray. It's on this side. It has this little slider. It goes back and forth in it for the actual ashtray. This thing simply slides straight out the back. Once you have this plastic ashtray out of here, it catches on that tiny nub. See, it looks like a little ramp over there. Right there. So if you come from behind, put a little flathead and twist it so that you pry this down, this whole tray will slide right out of place. And then with all that out of the way, I took a Dremel tool and just cut all this up. Let me back up. This whole front will come apart from the inside plastic. This is actually two parts. I had rivets down here, two on each side. So I drilled the old ones out and I put new pot rivets after I painted all the plastic. That way I could paint the plastic front and back, inside out. Dremel tool all this easier. Cut the whole section on the front. I took my time. I had to cut out the rectangle bigger than what the width of this is because it goes back. You have to determine all that. I don't know if every EQ you get of that nature is going to be the same width. But that's a Clarion. You probably see the part number on the last video. Alright. We get on to it. I probably missed something I was wanting to share. I'll get on with my day. I also have to make patterns like this for these pieces. That'll be the last parts in here besides the lower door panels. I don't know if I ever showed the front pillars installed. Those are the first pieces I installed when the car came back. I've had these covered up in my room for a while. The last year or two. So all that's together and finished up front. I got the battery disconnected while the lights aren't on. Hey man, call me. I'm trying to call you, man. The holidays, I didn't think no big deal. I didn't hear from you all through the holidays. It's the holidays. Hit me up. I need to know. We need to talk. How far are you gonna go? All right, peace. Keep going on and on. Have a blessed one. Happy New Year. Stay safe out there and warm. Peace.